the issue isn't about time. The issue is about putting in place conditions so that when the students go back to school, they're in a safe environment, they are in a safe learning condition. However much you open now or you open later, when these things are not in place or when COVID is not away, nothing will really help or change. The World Health Organization and the Center for Disease Control in America have recommended like 5 measures which have to be in place if there's going to be safe in-person learning. 1, masks. You provide the masks to the students. 2, cleaning and sanitizing. Things they do in normal offices, it should be done in the schools. What else? Vaccinating. Vaccinating can't happen really in such a situation. In case we don't have the vaccines, social distancing. Make sure there is that social distancing in schools. But the problem is those things may not be able to work very well in our condition. We can't have social distancing in schools in Uganda because they're already overcrowded. You get? Now, when you open schools in such a situation without assessing the situation wholesomely, then there will be a problem. Certain schools will be able to continue learning. For example, the affluent schools will be able to continue learning in such a situation. They can be able to show distance. But then there are some schools which can't show distance. There are some schools which can't afford basic soap and washing hands. They can't even afford drinking water. They can't afford the food to eat, their lunch. So they can't do these things. So this is where government steps in and does these things for them so they can be at par with other learners who are having these things, because we can't say that all students are sitting at home. No, some children are continuing learning properly. Only the disadvantaged ones and those in marginalized communities are the ones who are not really learning. Since we have less time to study amidst all this, they can revise the curriculum. There are some basic things which can't be in a curriculum, and people who teach know these things. There are some basic competencies. If someone knows how to read and write, those are the basic things which people go to school in early stages. That's what they go to do in school, to learn reading and writing, literacy and numeracy. So if teachers can be able to teach such things, then the rest can be foregone. Other things can be picked up later in life. But these ones are the basic foundation which can't wait or which can be foregone. I would advise the parents and the guardians who are living with these children, there should be continuity in learning. And educationists have been advocating for this even before COVID. Learning doesn't stop in schools only. Learning should be continuous, and COVID has shown us this, and the need for continuity in learning even at home. Parents should be able to guide their students in learning basic things, not only education related, but also things like the morals, things like the cultures. Even this is learning. Learning is not only limited to the math, SST, science, and what, even current affairs. Parents should take an interest in their children. You don't need to be educated, because normally there is this argument that the parents who are educated, the ones who can teach their children, do. Even parents who are non-educated can still monitor and ensure that the children are learning even while at home. Not only letting them roam around, they can read newspapers, read literature, read books, such things. You don't need to be in school to do that. That's a duty for the parents and guardians who are staying with these schools, with the children. Maybe I call upon the government not to have empathy. You know, as adults, we tend not to see or realize the problem which we're not feeling, which is not hurting us directly. You may not be able to realize the magnitude of this problem if you don't have a child in these stages. Most people who are governing us, their children are, 1, they're a bit older, they're not in these early classes. 2, they may be abroad. 3, they're international schools which are continuing to learn. But there are a crop of students or children who are really missing out on the core basics, and their time is going. They won't recover. It will be so hard for them to learn these things when they're a bit older. Things like the handwriting, those things really need to be learned when you're really still young. Things like learning how to read. it's hard for a child to learn how to read when they're really, to pronounce the vowels, to run the sounds when they're really old. So I call upon the government. The science evidence which has so far been published worldwide has shown that children have a lower transmission rate, one, even they have a low risk rate, even when they are really affected. They really recover and they have low side effects compared to the adult. There's no reason why these children are still kept at home. More so the pre-learning stage, the nursery students, those ones really have to go back to school.